From Calgary, Alberta, 225 pounds, here is Owen Hart!
Owen Hart was born in Calgary on May 7, 1965. He was the youngest among the 12 children of Stu and Helen Hart.
I'm very fortunate to have 12 kids in the family. I'm the youngest of 12.
As the youngest, he was adored by his siblings.
And this was the last baby, and we all knew. And we all were in awe of him, like, ah!
There was a bit of an obsession with Owen. Everyone was trying to pick him up and carry him around.
As Owen became more older, Stu became less active within the wrestling industry, only to spend quality time with Owen.
My dad was the one that made my breakfast. He was the one that took me to school. Most of the time, he was the one that made my lunch.
Owen competed in amateur wrestling in high school, but he really didn't like it all that much. However, his life changed because of amateur wrestling, as he met Martha at wrestling meet and they eventually married.
I met Owen when I was so young. I was only 15 and he was 17 and we were in high school.
Owen actually wanted to be a teacher or fireman.
He tried for a long time to get out of the business, and he applied to the fire department every year for years. And at that time, it was really hard to get on the fire department. He had to have a university degree. He always regretted that he didn't finish his education because he was actually a really bright guy.
And after my third year at university, my brother Bruce called me and said, "We need a new Hart." You know, I was watching from the sidelines, watching wrestling, and said, "Nah, I'm not going to do that. I want to be normal. I want to be a fireman or a school teacher."
However, his father's wishes eventually drew him in. Hart began working as a wrestler in 1986 as part of his father's Stampede Wrestling promotion.
Owen Hart, that sensational newcomer. What a debut this young man is making in professional wrestling.
In 1987, he began wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he further developed his style and gained a reputation for his athleticism and high-flying maneuvers.
Incredible move by Owen Hart, a young man who by himself is revolutionizing wrestling with all the flying, acrobatic techniques.
When Owen Hart first debuted in the World Wrestling Federation in 1988, he came in under a masked gimmick named the Blue Angel. He further diversified his wrestling experience by competing in Catch Wrestling Association in Germany in 1990. After that, Owen Hart debuted in World Championship Wrestling. He was there for less than a year. When Owen Hart returned to World Wrestling Federation in 1991, he joined his family in the famous Hart Foundation.
Look at Owen, right over the top of him, belly to belly and over the top he goes. Standing drop kick.
Every time he gets in the ring, he shows us a new move that none of us have ever seen before.
Because Owen Hart's on fire. 2-time Slammy Award winner. I knew it. I'm a winner. I did it. Woo!
This is a young man destined for superstardom.
On May 23, 1999, the wrestling world mourned the loss of the King of Hearts.
The Blue Blazer, as we know as Owen Hart, was going to make a very spectacular superhero-like entrance from the rafters, and something went terribly wrong here.
As Owen Hart was lowering towards the ring, his harness catch released and he became unhooked from the supporting cable.
This is not a part of the entertainment here tonight. This is as real as it real can be here.
Last night, during a pay-per-view WWF event in Kansas City, Owen Hart fell 5 stories to his death.
What really happened to cause wrestler Owen Hart to fall to his death in the ring?
Owen Hart fell 78 feet from the top of the Kemper Arena, hitting his head on the turnbuckle before a scheduled match. Emergency technicians tried desperately to revive him before he was pronounced dead on arrival at Truman Medical Center.
Owen Hart has tragically died from that accident here tonight.
We all have our impact on our parents, but it's so hard. My dad's so strong. It's so hard on him, you know.
Owen was a very, very, very nice man. He really was a nice guy.
Owen was such a fantastic guy. One of the funniest guys in the business, without a doubt.
Owen had that childlike quality about him.
You can go to any wrestler. Right away they start with stories about Owen.
Stories backstage, not just about his ribs and his thriftiness, but also his kindness and his decency as a human being.
He loved his kids.
He was going to retire in 2 years and become a firefighter.
He had a plan. Bank as much money as he could so that he could get out of the business.
After years of planning, Martha and Owen Hart had finally started their dream home. Owen was caught between a job he found humiliating and the need to pay for the house.
He was moving into his dream home. At that time he had saved his money and invested well and was doing great, and wife and 2 kids, and they'd built their dream home, and he didn't get that opportunity.
A couple of days before Owen was to leave for Kansas City, the family made a visit to their new home. They were 1 week away from moving in.
Do nothing wrong, play by the rules, be a good person, do everything right. It doesn't guarantee anything.
I make sure what I do as a professional athlete in and outside the ring is acceptable to my family and my friends, and I want to uphold the Hart reputation as being a true professional.
And I want you people to remember it with respect for the King of Hearts.
Now this is the best thing that I've seen all day. Not here. Look into the mirror. That'll bring a smile to anyone's face.